Hi there, it's Ryan from DoHardMoney.com. What I want to talk about today is buying non-conforming properties. And you may be asking yourself, what the heck's a non-conforming property? Well, it comes down to the zoning in the specific area. So the most common that we're dealing with when we're talking about non-conforming properties is you have a property that they put a mother-in-law apartment in or turn it into what you would call a duplex. However, it's not zoned to be a duplex. So I'll give you a perfect example. This was my very first real estate investing deal. And what happened was I found a property. It was a duplex, but it was set up where it was side by side. There's a unit here, there's a unit here. But here's the cool thing. This unit had a basement. And in that basement, there was a separate entrance. And I thought to myself, you know what would be really cool? Why don't I wall this off from top to bottom? Why don't I turn that into a studio apartment? Why don't I rent that studio apartment for $500 a month? I'll live upstairs, I'll rent out the side next to me, and I'll basically be doing this with no money. I'll basically own the property and everybody else will pay my rent. Great idea. Well, kind of. This is when I learned my hard lesson on non-conforming properties, because I ripped out the stairs, we walled it all off, and then we got the dreaded letter. The letter is going to be coming from the city. And the city's gonna say, hey, guess what? You know what? We're getting reports that you have 3 units when this is actually only zoned for a duplex. So what happened? The city official came out, wanted to see the property, looked at it and said, guess what, guys? You can't do this. And I said to myself, I'm an American. I can do this. I am entrepreneurial, like this is the American dream. What are you talking about? I own this property. This is my property. I can do whatever the heck I want with it. And the zoning official looks at me and says, yeah, you can do whatever the heck you want with it as long as it meets the zoning requirements that are required, and I'm shutting you down. So I had to put stairs back in. I had to take the apartment out. And I got kind of creative on how I did it and still kind of got away with it. But that's a story for another day. If you want to hear more about that story, give me a thumbs up on this video and maybe I'll have the courage to do it. It's been a long time since it happened, so maybe I'll share it with you. But give me a thumbs up and then I will. But the idea here is non-conforming properties. So a non-conforming property in my example was a 3-plex. Now, you might not get caught by the city. If you don't get caught by the city and you want to go sell that property, you're going to say, I have a 3-plex. And everybody's going to say, no, you have a duplex, not a 3-plex. Or for example, someone may put a basement apartment in. If the zoning doesn't allow it in the area, you're selling a house, not a duplex. The reason why this is important is pricing on that duplex may be worth more money than the pricing on the house. And so you could be disappointed in what you're going to sell that property for because you were thinking it would be worth more money when the zoning won't allow that property to have that usage, which means you're not going to get the extra money out of the property that you would. Basically, what non-conforming properties is saying is this property does not conform to the zoning requirements for this specific area. That can be very concerning if you're buying a property that meets that. Now, there can be special exceptions. You can have non-conforming that's approved. You can have non-conforming with the city where they allow it. There is all kinds of different issues. But if you're dealing with a non-conforming property, you want to make sure that you're valuing the property based upon what it is and what the zoning allows. Second thing you want to do is go down to the city and ask the zoning department what the heck's going on with this property, so you can get the full scoop. And if you ask long enough, you're going to get the person that knows the whole situation, because you'll find people at the government stay there a long time. It's hard to get fired from the government in most cases, and you'll have somebody that's been there for 20 years that's going to be like, well, let me tell you the story about this one, Sonny, and you can listen and learn and hear what's really going on. That can be really helpful because you can then use that information in making sure you can determine a really good offer that could be helpful for you. So I hope this has been helpful. If so, please give me the thumbs up. We've been talking all about what non-conforming properties are and if it's something you should be considering in your real estate investing, or just so that you're aware of it. As time goes on, you're going to run into one of these deals. If you want other tips and tricks, visit us over at DoHardMoney.com and make it a very profitable day.